We can make this thing work. I think we're good. I think it's going to do it. We're really doing it here, aren't we? Where are we? Oh, there's Twitch. I haven't even looked at Twitch. Catch Jeffrey Sinatra right after this ad break. Stick around. Man, I still got commercials. That's exciting. Show will be on Facebook somewhere. Doesn't really matter. All right. Anyway, this meeting is being live streamed, by the way.
Did you hear the music?
I heard it. It sounded like you singing.
Yeah, it is. It's my most recent hymn that I did this week. It came out this morning. But I have a new plugin that I was messing with on it. See if I can.
A little auto tune.
No, I already had that. I use that. Thankfully, I'm mostly in tune, but there's nothing worse than seeing your singing in the measurements that autotune does, because you're like technically like 7 cents sharp or flat sounds in tune, and then you see you're like, oh, 30 cents flat on that note and 40 cents sharp on that note. Oh. And it's usually if I'm holding a note, it's right on. If I get to keep my voice on it for long enough. But if it's a transition note, it's those are the ones that, or if I go la da da, that da was out of tune.
Gotcha.
Even though it basically sounds in tune.
Yeah, but I've never measured my singing voice. I don't really.
I need to hear somebody that really sings well and look at their auto tune before it's been auto tuned.
Oh, you want me to sing for you? Okay.
Yeah.
What? Don't assume.
Oh no, I don't have to assume. I heard some on our trip. I feel like
I didn't sing on a trip, did I? No, because I wasn't drinking. I haven't sang anything for a long time. I used to for a while. I do really well in general, and I know you're gonna harken back to when we were like 15 into this or 16, but generally Christmas caroling in a group, I fill out the group very well because I have a loud and deep voice. So the ones who project well tend to be all tenor and alto and soprano chicks. So then when I'm in the back singing these Christmas carols, it sounds like it's in stereo, right? It sounds like big. And then when I would stop, then it sounds like like it sounds so tinny from all the other people. And then I'd like start singing again. Lisa would look back at me like, stopping. Like we sound horrible, you know? I'm like, yeah. So I'm not saying I'm a good singer, but I guess I would say in a group I am a useful singer. You know, I fill the room. So much like with my personality and my sense of humor. But
no, I've got all sorts of plugins now for making my recording and mixes sound good. This one actually is for making instruments, EQing instruments, and actually mixing them, helping you mix it the right levels.
Nice.
I've got another one, and what's really cool about all three of these, they're all the same company. I can actually I can play music off of Apple Music, and AI will analyze it and tweak the instruments and the EQs and stuff to match those songs. So that's pretty cool.
FFCOY. Can you hear us?
What's up, buddy? Yeah, I just finally jumped on my phone because I can't get this damn computer going.
Uh-oh. Can you just tape it to the blood of Jesus, nothing but the blood of Jesus. Daniel sharing his hymn in them. Do they have hers or are they all hymns?
They're all hymns.
Hymnus.
Unless you go to the Methodist church.
Hymnus? Oh, that's true. Episcopalian, don't they have also?
I think Methodist has outshot them.
They've gone for make them female, make them black, make them gay.
Oh, you should just look up their they basically, yeah, they just allowed uh trans pastors and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
The Church of Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah.
Precious is the flow that makes me bright as snow.
I have to now I'll have to render that and compare it to the other version to see how it. Although I haven't figured out the mixing part of this plugin yet.
La 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 la. I don't know.
I still feel like you sang something while we were traveling.
Did I? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't remember. Like I said, I've been sober for quite a while now, and usually karaoke, have some drinks and then sing like I I sing like a effeminate Filipino man. And you know how like Filipinos in general tend to be able to sing like with American accents very well? Like they are good at karaoke. I don't know if you see it, but you have some guy who only speaks Tagalog, but he could sing, Creed like nobody's business, and you're like, how do they do that? Well, when I'm intoxicated and singing karaoke, I go the opposite. I go into this high pitched, effeminate um, character voice, which is a bit obnoxious, but yeah, it allows me to sing songs that I don't have the range to sing otherwise. And I haven't figured out how to
At least you
actually sing.
think it does. Is there
Yeah,
video? Is there video proof of it?
No, and I wouldn't say I sing it well. Just yeah. Anyway, when you're drunk, things seem like they're much better. So that's one boring thing about being sober now for I don't know, a while. How long has it been? A year and a half, I guess, completely. Is I go to bed with my own thoughts every night, and then I wake up with my own thoughts, and you don't realize when you're in the habit of drinking your thoughts away, um, or your fears, or your anxieties, or your you know, insert emotion there. Um, I didn't realize from probably the age of like 20 until, like, I don't know, 48, I guess, 49, that if you just shut your mouth and kind of quiet your mind and act like you're going to fall asleep, that you'll actually fall asleep. Um it was kind of like eye-opening for me. It actually took 2 weeks in the hospital of, trying not to die. That I was like, oh look, I could just go to sleep, and then I can sleep, and then I can wake up, and then yeah. Anyway, Atomic Dork Squad. It was a best lesson I learned was, hey, at the end of the day, dude, it's not all that bad unless you make it bad. So
Hey, stand by. I think I got my computer. I'll be right back.
yes, sir. So tonight on Atomic Dork Squad, joined by Master Jedi Jeff and Sci-Fi Dan. I'm Jeffrey with a G. We are going to discuss a few different things. Daniel's going to give us a little bit of a summary on Inside Out 2. Apparently, second weekend, $100 million they brought in, which is pretty incredible. And we'll see how that went. We will then, of course, we need to discuss The Acolyte. We've been talking about The Acolyte on and off for 6 months, waiting for it to come out, probably. So we'll give a little review and opinion on that. I have a little This Week in Music 1986. We don't have to do Sing It or Suck It. I believe that was our game. But if you guys want to sing, we can do that. My kiddo picked up an 80s trivia game. So I have 200 80s trivia questions here. Absolutely 80s. So we're going to do a little bit of that. And then I asked Chat GPT for 20 challenging Star Wars trivia questions along with their answers, because I expected if they're going to be challenging, I probably wouldn't have the answer to them. And we will see what Chat GPT thinks is challenging.
Let's figure it
Now,
out.
usually I argue with it for a couple of times. I'll be like, give me something Like, give me challenging. I'm like, how about harder than that? How about a little harder? I figured just
You like it harder.
I like it harder. Give it to me. As soon as I said that, I'm blushing. Harder, Chat GPT.
Give it to me harder, chat.
That's all I got. That's all I got. This I'll stand up saying like, wait, what is it with you women being like deeper? Like, did you think I was holding back? Like, I don't know.
Right,
Did
right.
you think I got another inch in reserve? I was just like waiting until you wanted it. Like, deeper. That's all I got. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. Anyways, welcome, Atomic Dork Squad. So let's do a little bit of catch up. So Daniel, other than mastering some music and putting out more
Hymnus.
hymns instead of hers on your YouTube, what else you been up to, dude?
Well, I've been.
I mean, you can talk about
going-
that too.
Yeah, I did. I started up a second YouTube channel that sadly, with 32 subscribers now, is outperforming my travel channel with 1,300 subscribers.
Oh,
Although my hiking half dome video has gotten an additional 3,000 views in the last month. So
wow, that's good.
yeah, so I've been getting some stuff, but I put out my video last week, and I'm telling you, there's something in the algorithm that's just stopping my videos.
Yeah.
So because they're all stopping about 30 views in, no matter
Okay.
what the rating is of the video.
Yeah.
So last 2 weeks ago, because I'm going to put I've kind of gone to a 2 week thing until I can figure out, just to save the trips that I've got I've got about 5 videos backed up, but I don't have anything planned to travel this month. So I'm doing end of summer, so I'm just doing one every other week. Anyway, I released a video when I went to Mammoth Caves over my birthday weekend, and
May
it
14th.
went to 25 views within about an hour and stopped.
Yeah.
And it's not because people aren't watching. The click-through rate is 9%, which 12% is considered amazing for YouTube. So it's got a great click-through rate. People are watching the people who have watched. It's now at 33. It got an additional like 7 views after it hit the 25, but that took a week.
Do you fear that that the YouTubes are purposely throttling people so they, I don't know, can not have to monetize and pay them?
Oh, I think there's probably something about that. I mean, it's interesting. I think that it's interesting that since, although I also think it has something to do with their promotions.
Okay.
Their promotions are, I think, a scam. They use bots, just like they tell people not to use bots to get views.
Yeah.
Totally using bots. I had a promotion, the last promotion I did, which I think is what broke my channel. I got 8,000 views on our trip to Death Valley.
Right.
And but
I mean, it was a good video.
But see, there's the thing. This is how you know it was bots. 8,000 views. Total average view time was 40 seconds.
Oh.
And which means they weren't even watching to see what the punchline of you sliding down the hill was.
Right.
So and the other thing was not a single like, or dislike,
yeah.
And not a single comment.
Yeah, so I can literally give you 10,000 views on a video for like $3. There's all these online bot farms.
It cost me like $10.
Yeah, and they'll give you views. But if you're paying to promote through YouTube, then they should be putting you in front of actual humans.
Right. And it's interesting too, because I was thinking about it. Have you ever, every once in a while I'll see where a video says promoted underneath it when I'm watching something, when I'm clicking through videos. But how often do you really see that?
Not very often.
No.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen it.
Yeah, maybe
or noticed it. Yeah, maybe I never noticed it.
I've looked at a lot of reels and videos.
Either people have quit using that, or it never was promoting your video. It was just giving you fake views.
You give them money and then they just give you an increase in.
Which puts a question too, like how many of my subscribers are real? Yeah, I'm guessing around half of them, because about half of them we got through shorts.
I'm real.
Yep, he's real.
I am real. I am a bot though.
All 4 of mine are real.
But that's just it too. Is that I know that. So one of
I did
my
follow
high
you
school
on 4
friends,
accounts, so I'm sorry.
one of my high school friends did comment on that video. That was the other thing too. Is like that video, as far as like the numbers go, is looking perfect. Like, but it's only had 300 impressions.
The Death Valley one.
No, the most recent one, the Mammoth
okay.
Caves.
Sorry.
It has
I
300
was just
impressions.
thinking about my ass in the dirt. So.
Yeah. Now what's funny is as my other video, that some of my videos started getting views, I got hopeful until I posted my video again 2 weeks, because I was getting my Yosemite video was getting other videos to be viewed. So I saw like a few extra views every couple of days of that video, and so I was seeing stuff. I'm like, all right, and I had taken 2 weeks off, and I was like, okay, I'll post a video now, put that in there, and it looked like it was like I said, it took off right away. I'm like, yeah, and then nothing. I was like, oh,
throttle, dude.
So
my non-toxic masculinity one, which I basically just put golf clips of Tiger Woods mostly. In a year, I have 18,120 subscribers, 21 million views. I get 350 to 400,000 views every 28 days. I'm not monetized because the way it's set up, I can't monetize sports clips unless I introduce them or make it like,
yeah, you have to do the.
I gotta if I'm not there pointing at it. I did a couple of those videos and they actually got some views, which was shocking. But where I broke myself is I posted some political stuff. Somewhere along the way, I don't know, it was like a Tucker Carlson clip or something. I put a couple conservative clips on that same on that same page, and I literally my views and my access dropped. Like they shut me off. And to me it was obvious that they didn't as soon as I posted something that was, as far as I'm concerned, not woke, then they shut my channel down. And even though I'm still getting 378,000 a month, it's based on, I don't know, it's like based on 5 clips I think that are running in like the 1 or 2 million views each. But it was like as soon as I put a political thing on there, pew. And I was just curious.
Which is weird because I see a lot of political things with lots of views.
Me too. And I see channels that have that too. But I mean, I could literally track it the day I put those on. I went back and I deleted any political things that I had on there. Still didn't pick back up. I get like 600 views, 1,100 views, where I was literally getting 10,000 views an hour until I did that. And then they're like, so whatever.
Luckily I have my new job that pays really well. You have 2.
I have 2 strikes.
Wow.
One of them might expire. Who was it? The U.S. Open. Some dude who works for, I think, the Open. I think it was the Open. Guys, give me 2 different strikes, like 3 months apart, because I put a clip of a broadcast from their broadcast. Basically, I'm like, all of YouTube is full of your broadcasts. Like, but whatever. If they shut it down, it doesn't matter at this point. I gotta do the experiment. So the experiment,
Yeah, it's interesting with the music. Like I said, I've that's growing. I'm not doing anything but putting the music up there, and the click-through rate's like 2 or 3%, but I'm averaging between 300 and 600 views with 32 subscribers.
Yeah, that's wild.
I was
watch it over and over and over again. It's probably Jeff. I think Coy is doing that.
He just likes
I think he just puts
my hymns.
your hymns on repeat.
I just want to hear them every hour on the hour.
Oh, just nonstop. What's going on with you, Mr. Jeff?
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
And so I am, let's see, for me, I'm coaching football now with Lil Connor and coaching his team. We'll be heading out to Lake Tahoe in a couple of weeks for dance finals for little April.
Good job,
and yes, good job, April. And then Stephanie is a senior in high school now, so preparing for senior year.
I didn't realize she and Hannah were in the same grade.
Yeah.
she'll be a senior too.
Yeah, same grade, same everything. So doing that, and then Michelle and I just going strong, taking it every single day, being happier and happier every single day. So
That's awesome.
it's been a blessing. It's been a blessing. And
She have a gun
yeah,
to your head right now?
is she what?
She has a gun to your head?
Oh, I thought you said something else about head.
Oh my God.
He said, does she have a gun to your head?
No.
But yeah,
It was a joke. It was a joke. Just the way you looked up, like it's a blessing. Blink twice.
Are you in distress?
What's
is
that?
like
What's that
that
code?
thing?
Yeah. Like she's beating him.
Oh, thank you, buddy. And then other than that, all we've been doing is I've been in my spare time doing the novel, doing my short story, my Star Wars
Nice.
short story, which we've discussed off the air.
Nice. Yeah, I like it.
How was this?
Yeah.
That's good stuff. It actually made me start looking for Star Wars books to read. I'm reading like 9 books at a time, but I keep meaning to pick up. There's so many different genres and paths, and
So many.
I just go look. I'm like, there's like 400 books, and I don't know where to start. The last one I read was Heir to the Empire, 1991, I think. That was the last Star Wars book I read. So
The fact that you didn't even finish that story cracks me up.
I didn't.
I recommend the Darth Bane series for sure, and then also the one with Jason Solo and the what is that one? What's that one called? With
I want to say it's Legacy. No, it's not Legacy of the Jedi.
Legacy of the Jedi, something like that. Legacy of the Force.
Let me go see. I've got it. I can see it from here, but I can't read it from here. Look.
I know. I'm looking up here. I got my books covering it.
I need something that grabs my attention. I'm like,
this is the one where that's the one where it's like 8 books long, but you see Jason Solo fall from the light side, like the hero of the Jedi Order, to the dark side to being a badass Sith Lord.
Nice. Okay.
Which is a path I wish I would have taken with the new series, but it is what it is.
We're gonna discuss that. So yeah. So Darth Bane series.
Darth Bane series. It's a 3-book series.
Okay. I feel like I'm not kidding. I feel like I saw all 3 of them.
I was close. I mixed 2. It's the Legacy of the Force.
Legacy of the Force. Yeah.
I think somebody had donated them to the thrift store that I go to.
Oh yeah.
Brand new. I think they were Darth Bane. There were like 3 of them, and I picked them up, and I'm like, I don't know should I get all 3? I don't even know if I want to read. And I put it back.
Yeah.
I'll have to go look and see if they're there again.
I basically say read anything that Timothy Zahn wrote.
Of course.
And then the legacy of the Force is good.
Okay.
I enjoy the Bane series as much as Jeff did, but that's okay. I'm a good Jedi. He's a Sith, so
you love what you love.
Try to see if there's anything else that over there that is particularly good.
Plagueis. I liked Plagueis.
Jason Bourne.
Plagueis was all right, especially if it was more if it was going to be kept in canon.
Mm-hmm.
But
so the Bourne Identity. Those
Jason Bourne series. Yeah.
Jason Solo. All right.
Jason Solo.
So let's talk about I think when you were clicking over, Jeff, and we're going to talk about Inside Out 2, The Acolyte.
God.
This week in music, 1986. Do some 80s trivia and some Star Wars trivia, of course.
Inside Out 2. Let's talk.
Let's talk about Inside Out 2. Have you seen it yet, Jeff?
I have. We went and saw it on Father's Day.
Okay, I haven't seen it. Feel free and spoiler alert the hell out of it. It doesn't bother me. So, what do you guys think? It made $100 million this second weekend in a row. So it looks like a win for Disney. So why is it a win for Disney?
You want to go first, Daniel?
Yeah, I can. It's very easy why it's a win for them. They just told a great story and didn't. At the end of the first Inside Out movie was brilliant, and they managed to take it and push it forward, and in a way that was, I mean, sometimes heart-wrenching. Like when she's dealing with anxiety, my wife even says like that was such a great depiction of anxiety. Because at one point, anxiety is just swirling around the control panel, and it's just nothing else can even get near to get any other emotion to other than anxiety, and it was pretty powerful.
That's good, Jeff. What was
I agree. It was a excellent depiction of anxiety. The whole anxiety where it's just kind of like, oh, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should go here. Yeah. Well, maybe we should do it this way. What happens if we don't do it this way? What happens? And I even said to Michelle in the theater, I said, this is an amazing description of anxiety. But
go ahead.
But it also, if I'm seeing and I'm hearing how it affected not only my kids, but kids out there with anxiety. And sorry, I think someone just let off a stink bomb. What is that?
That wasn't me. I thought it was you.
No, that's not me. What is that?
That was not me.
Okay, knock it off. Whatever you guys are doing, knock it off.
We're not doing it.
Oh, I thought I put on mute.
No, parent away.
That wasn't you.
So continue. Oh, he's finishing. What I was going to say too is another part of that
anxiety for them.
Yeah. The other thing of anxiety that I thought was really interesting is that at one point, anxiety's got the entire imagination team working on worst case scenarios rather than working on the positive imagination stuff. And that was another one I thought was pretty amazing.
Yeah, the depiction of anxiety was spot on. But like I was saying, the way it affected not only my children is seeing anxiety, but also I'm hearing that a lot of more kids are becoming anxiety ridden and anxious coming out of seeing that movie. Like their feelings are actually coming out of being anxious and having anxiety. They were doing a study on it too. Michelle was reading up on a study on it saying that how people are actually being affected by this movie in a negative way.
Oh, that's interesting. I would think that it would create some awareness and maybe some coping skills. I mean, how do they
and just the way
that obviously
just the way that the little girl in the movie was just like, what do I do? And she like was she, I can't remember, was she punching herself? Or
yeah, she was playing hockey and she was in the penalty box and her friends were going by and she was just wrenched with you could just see it across the face. Great animation.
Excellent.
The animators caught those kinds of details of facial expressions. It was just amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, it is interesting to see that it affected. I would like to see more about that because I do feel like it had coping skills because but I think it speaks a lot of what's going on in the younger generation, that they don't have emotional coping skills. And that, I mean, they're meant to, well, I mean, it's basically, I would say it starts with COVID. COVID brought fear constantly to their lives for 2 years.
Yeah.
And so I think that has a lot to do with it.
Hey, I'm going to throw Michelle on real quick so she can talk a little bit about what she had heard on that one. Hold on one second.
You got this. Come on. Get your coughs out now.
How many coughs?
Yeah, can I sit with her? Okay. Yes, I am going to sit with her. She is my mother. I'm not there.
And now I just get trolled by all my friends having icons. You've never been.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
hi.
Hi.
Highlight of your career, to be quite honest.
So yeah,
That was like 6 years ago.
what have you read about Inside Out 2?
So
having
if you're
negative effects on kids?
if your child has severe anxiety, that you're not supposed to take them to see the movie, because it heightens it and makes them like panic more. Like it makes them realize exactly what's going on inside of them. That just happened to my child after we saw the movie. She had stop. The one who's trying to be on the TV right now. She saw it on Sunday and on Monday had a full-on meltdown like for a week.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So
and the study came out on Monday. So had I heard about it, we wouldn't have seen it. But I saw it the day before.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah,
That's
but they're
wild.
saying it's showing kids because kids are thinking that Joy is just gonna like come up and grab them and pull the anxiety away like she does in the movie, but that doesn't happen.
That's what I was gonna ask. I didn't see it, so I was just
Oh,
curious.
okay.
I saw Garfield. Yeah. Either way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just curious. So they tried to use joy as the example of how
Yeah.
to get rid of your anxiety.
Well, because anxiety's at one point like going crazy. Like you could probably search on YouTube now. I'm sure it's on there, but she's going like crazy and it's like wild. And then Joy just kind of walks up and like saves it and gets rid of the anxiety and everything goes back to normal. But we all know that
That's not
doesn't.
real life.
Yeah. So
That's really interesting. You know, it's funny. I was talking to my youngest Hannah the other day, and we were talking about your feelings in general, and she said, you know, mom said that she's only been happy like a few times in the last year. And
mhm.
I said, well, that's interesting. Do you think that as humans that we're supposed to be happy all the time?
Yeah.
And she said, I don't know. I said,
Well, I think
I don't think we are.
Yeah.
I don't think we are either.
I think it's a misunderstanding
My arm's
that
invisible.
like
Wait, my arm's invisible.
you're either happy or you're miserable.
Mhm.
There's so much more wired in between the human experience.
Yeah.
That you'll have moments of joy and you'll have moments of all these, but those are moments and those are things to celebrate, but it shouldn't be the pursuit of your it's it's like it says in the declaration of the declaration, the pursuit of happiness.
Yeah.
You're not guaranteed to have it, but you're allowed to pursue it.
Yeah.
That's an inalienable right. So that's curious that I'm curious that they used joy as the way out of that.
Well,
It-
they kind of didn't, because final what the final reality was is that it was actually sadness that
Yeah.
fixes it, not
Yeah.
joy. And when what Joy says is that we don't get to choose what they'll be, and all of the memories that, like, it's the movie starts with Joy throwing away the bad memories and putting them in
Mhm.
the back of the mind, and it kind of ends with all those memories flooding in, because one of the core things of the movie is that there's this part of in the brain that is her self. It's herself, basically, all of her memories that say, oh, this is who I am.
Right.
Yeah.
And so all of those bad memories now is a part of who she is. And so the bottom line was that she wanted all the emotions were like, we don't get to decide, we just help her, you know.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting that because that was my take. I didn't see, like, Joy was definitely, she's the leader, but even
Yeah.
like at the one point Joy breaks down, is crying, and says, I
Mhm.
don't know what to do.
Yeah. But
And,
it like it definitely I think it made an impact on my daughter. Like she really like on Monday, she said she had no friends at her studio and she's been going there since she was 2. Never had a problem a day in her life. And all of a sudden she was like, I can't go. Barely went all week. Like, and I just really think the movie made her overthink the anxiety portion of it. She asked
Yeah.
me for a therapist, which is fine. We'll get one. But it's just I think the movie you really have to be careful. I had a lot of adult friends who are like, have you seen that? I think I need to go see a therapist now because like it makes you overthink your own anxiety.
That's
So
interesting.
yeah.
There's a guy,
My turn.
psychologist named
My turn.
Jonathan
My
Haidt,
turn.
Haidt.
My turn.
Mhm.
He
My turn.
he was on Joe Rogan
Can I
a few
go
months ago,
now?
and he has a book called The Anxious Generation: How the Great Rewiring of Childhood is
Bro,
Causing
you
the
wanna
Epidemic of
fight?
Mental Illness.
Yeah,
And it was really telling because he basically pointed out that from COVID lockdowns
Mhm.
on, children got isolated and then they got constant access to more information than they would have had if they were out
Yeah.
socializing in school, doing things.
Mhm.
Everyone was online. And on top of that, there was a boon with therapists in general who suddenly decided that it's easier to specialize on childhood anxiety than it is to actually deal with like schizophrenia and like those,
Oh,
those
Yeah,
hard
yeah.
things to deal with.
Yeah.
So like
Definitely.
the amount of therapists who suddenly are like, yes, let's do therapy with your children and talk about
You need
all
some
of their
water?
fears and PTSD and their trauma and all
Mhm.
the buzzwords.
Yeah.
And we can do that every
Definitely.
week, twice a week for the rest of their lives, and we get
What
paid
are they
for it.
saying?
And my kids have all done a little bit, done some therapy after we had a contentious divorce. Obviously, it stressed them out. So I'm not in disagreement of that sort of thing. But I'm
Yeah.
talking to Hannah, who's going to be a senior now, and I said, "Have you thought about an end game for when you'll be done with your therapy?" And she said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, if you're still talking about your same trauma of mom and dad's divorce 7 years ago, and now you're almost an adult,
Yeah.
like, I don't think there's any more ways that you can think about it that's going to make the past any different, that's going to make the future any different." And again, what she would call PTSD and trauma was mom and dad yelling at each other and then we broke up. It wasn't like what's the extremes that a lot of children go through, like abuse and
Yeah.
all sorts of things like that. And I'm like, I don't know how long you want to, I'm just curious, how long do you want to go like mom and dad got in a fight and broke up and that's going to dictate the rest of my life? I said, do you think that there's a point where you can say, I've managed this and maybe I can just go live my life? And she was like, I never thought about that. I'm like, well, your therapists aren't going to,
They're not gonna tell you.
they're not going to
Yeah.
tell you. They
Well,
just
and
like,
it's
you've had 4 therapists. They like, they'll quit or go someplace else and you get a new one. They just pick up and say, oh, let's read your sheet. What's wrong with you? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
your mom and dad got divorced and you have anxiety. Okay. Let's
well, and
listen.
I think I saw that same thing, and I think he was talking about too that the continuously talking about it, they're reliving it,
Yes.
continuously reliving those traumas rather than naturally dealing with them as life goes on.
Right.
If you continuously are rethinking about the bad stuff, you're reliving the bad stuff. Every time
Right.
your mind
Right.
thinks of it, you have all the chemicals that go on your body that are self-defense.
Mm-hmm.
And so
you're creating that it's that addiction to dopamine and
Yep.
And you said there's a book about it.
yeah.
Will you send the information to Jeff for me?
Yeah,
That would
you
be.
got it. Yeah,
I'd appreciate it. I'll
Yeah,
get Jeff for
absolutely.
you.
Awesome. It was good talking to you.
It was
Thank
good talking to
you.
you. Nice meeting you.
Bye. Nice seeing you.
Go ahead.
No, April Marie, they don't want to talk to you. They want to talk to Jeff.
You can say hi.
I don't say I have
Hey
anxiety.
guys.
Hello, April.
Hello.
How are you?
Microphone's right here.
know my name.
Phone's right there. This is the microphone.
Wait, I have to talk into
No, you can just talk like normal.
ASMR.
We can hear you.
Stop it.
Hi.
Why, hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Outstanding.
Living the dream.
Yes.
Oh,
Or,
good.
or a dream. Nightmares are
What
dreams,
are you
right?
learning on TikTok
yeah,
and nothing.
So I always see Jeff posting about you're an incredible dancer. You have a lot of skill and talent, and I think that's pretty amazing.
Thank you.
You should be proud of yourself. A lot of people are afraid to specialize and become an expert at something. So that really says a lot about your character that you're willing to do that.
All right.
And you've
I'm
done
gonna
a
talk
good
to Mom
job
real
with it,
quick.
so.
Thank
right
you
back.
so much.
Yeah, keep up the good work, kiddo. I get excited every time I see that you're out dancing and winning trophies, and whether you win or not, obviously you're good at what you do. So
I'm
that's
next.
awesome. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You want be buns? You
All right,
want
can
to
we
say
have
hi?
can we have Jeff back now?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, thanks, man.
Daddy, Jeff, they want you. Don't you want me? No, they want. No, they just. No, they want me. No, they actually said that. They said that. They want you back.
We've got a
I
little-
saw
Have
you.
a good day.
You as
Thank
well.
you. You too.
All right, say hi real quick. Come on, hurry up. We're
Hello,
on a time
Connor.
budget. Say hi.
Hi.
Hey, Connor, how
Hello.
are you? How's football going?
Good.
Yeah. What position are you playing?
Did you get your marshmallows?
I don't know.
What is it? I can't hear them.
I don't
Position?
know what position I'm playing right now.
Well,
Football.
what did you play? What did you play today?
Offensive line and defensive line.
Awesome. Outstanding. Good job, buddy. Do you enjoy football?
Yeah.
That's great. I'm glad you're playing. And that's cool that your dad is coaching too.
Yeah. You used to text me, check me, call me, baby.
All right, buddy. It was good seeing you. Let me let's get Jeff back on. We're gonna run out of time, okay, buddy?
Okay. Thank you, guys. I got you. Thanks, buddy. You don't need to yell. All right. Love you guys. Drive safe, okay? Love you. All right. Sorry, everybody's leaving.
Oh, no worries.
Party time. Anybody else want to get on here? Any kids?
Anybody? Neighbors? No,
Oh,
that's-
shit. There's my camera.
don't fall. Nah, totally fine. Good kids.
Thank
They
you.
get excited.
They get excited.
We're new people. Well,
Have
not.
Have a good time. Thank you for coming to see me.
Sponsor me marshmallows.
Oh, they say bye.
Have more sugar. Good job.
Bye.
More
Bye,
sugar.
Thank you for today.
Drive safe, guys. Love you. Yep. All right. So that's what's going on with me.
So we're all caught up. We're all caught
Inside
up.
Out too. That was awesome.
I think that's interesting. I think it sounds like from an adult perspective, people are like, what a good way to show and express and teach what all these things are. For a
Mhm.
kid who maybe wasn't having those feelings before, I can see where that could be a challenge that suddenly they're taking that on because now they have a visual representation of what that is.
Mhm.
So that'll be interesting.
Yes.
Interesting to see what happens, especially it's got another $100 million weekend.
But
obviously.
what's interesting is there is an article in Psychology Today that says that's 5 reasons everyone with anxiety should see Inside Out too.
Ah,
I really thought it was a good breakdown of what it was, and it explained it.
Yeah.
I said, this is great explanation of these feelings that
Yeah.
I've had. I know my kids have had, and I'm able to visualize that and say, this is perfect. This is exactly what you're going through. But, I also see the other side of the coin where it's just like, oh,
there's a really good book by Dr. Brene Brown. It's like Renee with a B, Brene Brown.
Renee.
PhD in social work. It's called The Atlas of the Heart. And she clinically defines what all the emotions are and basically where they come from in a way that is like remarkable, because you don't think like that shame and fear are a part of anger, like where the connection is on all these different things. And it's extremely eye-opening. I would check out Atlas of the Heart.
Yeah, this is so these are the 5 reasons that the article says. So the first one is that anxiety is just looking out for Riley, and that was the whole thing, is that I'm just trying to protect her, and that it's saying that anxiety in itself about thinking about the future type stuff isn't bad. It's just considering unwanted outcomes. The second one is actually what I said: anxiety co-opting imagination to produce disastrous scenarios, which is basically like, that's OCD. That's what OCD basically does.
Right.
Shame developed with anxiety's help.
Yeah.
When the movie starts, we see the personality manifest in a beautiful swirl of symmetrical glowing threads, and throughout the movie, they take out that kind of self, and anxiety places all this stuff, just all the stuff that they want to make Riley their own. And when it finally manifests, what Riley comes up and it's just the only thing he keeps repeating is, "I'm not good enough."
Yeah. Oh.
That was, yeah. So and then the panic attack in the penalty box. And so it says, in a very tender moment, Joy saves the day by gently reminding anxiety to let go of the controls and release Riley. It's not that Joy really came into the save the day, but just reminded that
Like you're not in control.
you can't control everything.
right.
And then the final part, when it was the other thing I said, is that Riley's new personality, with all of her emotions and all of her good and bad memories, creating a full person. And it's really touching, because it's that going through middle school, that kind of that time that you don't remember, that I always said that where I you were a dork and I couldn't hang out with you anymore because I was trying to be cool. And there's that, it's going that stage of life, and then realizing that that's not the path, and so she has the same thing going on with her friends. At the end, reconciles to her friends, apologizing. It's one of the best apologies in a movie I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah, I came out of the movie and my family, my daughter gives me a hard time because I'll say, oh, that was a cute movie. And I came out of that one, is like, that was a deep movie. And she's like, wow, you didn't just say it was cute. I was like, no, it was deep. I thought the first one was good and deep, but this one, I think this one took it to the next level. And I think Disney should be like, I told people they should be rewarded for making such a good movie. They should know that this is what we want to see.
Right.
Give them all the money for that movie. And then and then that brings us to The Acolyte. I haven't even watched episode 4.
So yeah, so let's start that discussion. What you guys think? So The Acolyte, for if you don't know what that is, it is a Star Wars prequel, 100
prequel
set 100 years before
episode 1.
Episode 1.
Right.
So it's, well, who wants to describe the premise? Jeff, what's the premise of?
All right. So the premise of the show so far is the way it was brought on to us is that there is somebody who is focused on the dark side. That's like the acolyte that has been focusing on the dark side, and it's supposed to be the journey of her fall. It's the way I took it. I don't know, Daniel, what do you think? You think?
Well, I think that's definitely what we thought it was going to be.
What we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So what it is so far in the first couple of episodes is a spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the first 3, I won't go into 4 as much.
There is a little bit, but that's more of a Star Wars geek problem than it is a
So if anybody, one of you who are watching us, if you want to just close your ears if you haven't watched this yet, just close your ears. But so first 3 episodes is about these 2 sisters. One wanted to be a Jedi, and one did not want to be a Jedi. One wanted to be like her mother, which I'm assuming was not a witch of Dathomir, but was a witch nonetheless.
Form of witch, yeah.
Form of a witch who are able to create life, and we'll go there later. But so but it follows the journeys of these 2 girls.
Are they twins?
They're twins. They're twins.
So they're twins.
Yeah.
So
they're twins that were created from the Force.
The duality of one can go light, one goes dark.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a duality. One really admires the Jedi and what they stand for. The other one admires her mother and what they stand for and wants to do that. And when she feels betrayed because the one sister really wants to go with the Jedi and goes, and they're told by the witches to fail the tests of the Jedi, because the Jedi just think they could go into any place and say, okay, this child's Force sensitive, she's coming with me, and these children are Force sensitive, so they're coming with us. And it doesn't really give it to effect that that's might not be what they want to do. So these witches are like, okay, they'll go take your tests, and we'll do whatever, but they tell the kids to fail the tests. And so one child, the one sister, May, she ends up failing the test on purpose. And the other sister, Osha, yeah, that's right, safety.
Yeah.
Osha is tries to fail the test, but she lets the Jedi know that she's supposed to be failing the test on purpose. Okay. So the Jedi end up, saying okay, and then they go back, and the one sister's like, well, I'm going to go with the Jedi, that's what I want to do. And the other sister says, well, I'm going to lock you in this room and I'll kill you since you want to go with the Jedi. I'm going to kill you, which okay.
Yeah, that leap in the story was actually because suddenly everybody's dead. Like, why did the girl kill everybody?
Everybody died, and then from fire. Just one big fire came up, and everybody's dead all of a sudden. We don't know how. They all just died.
And maybe
the killed everybody.
She lit
that. That's what they tell us in the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And for some reason, that girl. So that the plot is that girl is coming back to get revenge on the 4 Jedi that came. So the first episode has you meet the Trinity Jedi, and she kills
Carrie-Anne
kills her. Yeah, kills her.
Yeah, I saw her and I was like, oh, she's so good at jumping around in swords and crap. That'll be great. And then she died.
Yeah.
And
then the second Jedi is the one white Jedi that's in there. He
was a Padawan at the time of the actual thing.
Yeah, and then he became a master who hasn't spoken in 10 years or something like that.
Yeah.
and she ends up making him kill himself. And he said
Oh.
he was sorry as he's killing himself. I'm sorry. I thought we were
Which
doing
is-
the right thing, which is weird.
Which doesn't go with what. So unless we're going to see a different version of the events of the third episode,
Mhm.
which I'll only know by probably watching people talk about it rather than me actually watching it.
So
But-
so then then
So the
the
Jedi have
sisters
turned
find out they're
into-
alive. So each
Are-
sister thought the other was dead.
Okay.
And then they find out they're alive, and the one sister wants to stop Osha, the good one, wants to stop May, and May wants to figure out what the hell's going on and why that her sister's still alive. So she's now all of a sudden she's deciding that she maybe wants to go light because her sister's alive, which is a big flip. And then in the fourth episode, we find out there's a Sith Lord that's pulling the strings with May, and we find out a little bit more about the Sith.
So the Jedi have turned into like MAGA, Jehovah's Witness, group?
Like literally Jehovah's Witnesses, like, hey, we're coming, but more of a, hey, let's come into your home and I'm going to take your children. They're going to become Jehovah's Witnesses too. So, sorry.
What we kind of do see that there's some of that because I mean, Qui-Gon even takes Anakin from his mom.
Right.
Yeah, I'd like to take him with.
And he was a little old for it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I guess you'd like to think in this imaginary mythological world that they were given permission by the family to take these kids and
Yes, take my
make them
son.
the best that they can be. It wasn't like a grooming kidnapping,
Mhm.
which is what this feels
This is
like
what it
you're
is.
implying.
Like they're there and they're like, they're coming with us. There's children here and they're force sensitive, so they're coming with us.
And so the problem that a lot of people are having too is that it's not just that. I mean, there's clearly the whole group of lesbian witches who have created life through the Force,
right?
And it's not even. I don't even that part of the problem. It's like the creating life. Like people are mad at that because this is a big deal for Anakin. But we've seen the witches do this. It's not the same thing that. It wasn't the midichlorians doing it like with Anakin,
right?
But it's just that they're deconstructing the Jedi. It's in a way of deconstructing the church, basically. It's the way to say there's no way that these people who are compassionate and loving are good.
Right. They were created from darkness and they're Satan.
Yeah.
Like that.
I heard the director was like the whole point is that nobody's all good and nobody's all bad. Is what they said. And it's like, no, that's just it. That's the point of Star Wars. There is goodness and there is badness, and goodness always stands up to badness. Right. That is Star Wars in a nutshell.
Right. That's the whole Joseph Campbell myth, or not even mythology. It's just human nature is supposed to be represented in that way. That you will be challenged by darkness because that's natural, but you can overcome it if you're conscientious and especially if you have support of others. It's supposed to be the hero's journey and human nature. So it took me about, I don't know, 10 minutes of watching the first one, or maybe 15 minutes or so. It's funny because I texted Rebecca and I said, and I hadn't read anything about the Acolyte yet. I said I'm caught up with all the other shows. I just started watching the Acolyte. My guess is that they're going to say that the history of the Jedi are all women and they're manifested by black lesbians. And this was before I even knew. All I heard was they're like your mothers. I heard plural, like they said your mothers, and I was like, I think they're trying to take it all back to that, like, and I don't care about people from different backgrounds and different races and different all those things. Everyone could be in the story wherever they belong. It to me it feels like you said, it's a disservice against 50 years of mythology to try and destroy that foundation.
It's bad storytelling because the other thing that's about the hero's journey and that is that we all see ourselves in it. So going back to Inside Out, watching that It's a 12-year-old girl. Yet every single person watching that movie is that 12-year-old girl, has felt all of the feelings that she's felt. It has nothing to do with what her identity is. It's this is what every person feels.
This is human being. This is what being human is.
Yeah. And that is what the beauty of Star Wars has been. It's like, it's about seeing what's the best part of you. Luke Skywalker isn't just because he's a white male, he's doing this. This is ideally what we all see in ourselves.
Right.
And it's like we all should rise up to be the hero and to stand up for what's good. And that's why they're failing. That's why Star Wars has not told good stories since Disney took over. Other than, I mean, I think that the Bad Batch told a great story. I think that the Clone Wars finished out their story really well.
Agreed.
Rebels was probably the best completely Disney. I guess Bad Batch is. Rebel. Yeah, I mean that's all Dave Filoni.
Yeah.
I think it's somewhat intentional too. I think it has a lot to do, with the trying to make. I mean, it's even in. I actually like The Last Jedi, but there's a whole scene in that where Luke is talking about how bad the Jedi, how they, in their arrogance, they allowed Palpatine to take, or Sidious to take over. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, yeah, they had blind spots. They weren't perfect human. They weren't all seeing.
Right.
But they stood for good. And like that what I loved about the prequels too is that Mace Windu in episode 1 says, and we're keepers of the peace, we can't fight a war for you. And when the Jedi fell is when they really failed, was they started fighting the war for the Republic.
Exactly.
And so it's all beautiful. It's like you can see it, it's all there. But no, the people who are telling these stories, Kathleen Kennedy doesn't know the story, feel the stories. I don't even think George Lucas realizes sometimes what he created. It's kind of like where I always say that Frozen's one of the best Christian movies ever made. I don't think people sometimes realize with the stories they've told.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, if you think about, I mean, there's so many Disney movies in general that follow that same criteria, whether it's The Lion King, which is like kind of it's Hamlet, but it's also the tortured hero. Like there are these, going back to Hans Christian Andersen and Aesop fables, and going back, it's like since time immemorial, going back hundreds of years, these stories have been told that reflect what human nature is, and the intent is to make you feel like you're inclusive to that human condition and that you're going to be okay too. So it makes me happy here. Inside Out too, like seems like they did a great job with it. If kids are having ill effect from it, I think that's more telling as to what's going on with
our world,
the challenges with society. Kids in the last few years anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Where if they're manifesting things from seeing that, it just to me just kind of highlights that damage that was done when they locked everybody down.
So oh, absolutely.
It's got to be dealt with at some point, it's got to be. I look forward to taking Hannah to go see it, because again, the kid's been in therapy for years, talking about the same few things. I'm like, it's okay. It's okay that you have all of these feelings that you not. And I always tell the kids, it's not one of them deserves to be dominant over another. You're gonna have to contend with all of them at some point. But I would say your thoughts are not yours. Learn how to observe your thoughts and not obsess over them.
It's always alerting.
And you keep moving forward every day. Keep moving forward. Not the end of the world.
That's right.
But yeah, when you see the Acolyte on Rotten Tomatoes had like an 80+% critics review and like a 14% audience review.
Yeah.
You're kind of like, Where's the
Well,
agenda?
Yeah. Well, and the funny thing is too, is like the first 2 episodes, I was like, all right, those were good enough. They weren't amazing, but other than they weren't awful. I was like, I was interested to see where the story went.
That's what I said. I said I'm intrigued. That's what I told everybody. Everyone's like, "What do you think?" I said, well, "I'm intrigued. I'm going to watch more just to see." And then the third episode was just like, "What the heck is this?"
Yeah. Well, I thought it was interesting too that the agenda kind of even I think I messaged that it's like the agenda was there and even said we want the children.
Yeah.
we want them to against their will, even if they're but well, to be fair, the mother does actually say, hugs her and cries, but says go be with the Jedi, basically.
Right. And that's why they're pulling that not everybody's bad and not everybody's good type string, like you're saying.
Yeah. But I don't know. So it does kind of bring to and along the lines of trying to make the Jedi bad. They put a spin on episode 1 with the most recent episode. They had Jedi Master Kiadi Mundi there.
You said that.
He basically like I said, I haven't seen it. I've been watching. I watched it through other people that do tell the story of it, and he basically hides the fact that there's a possible Sith Lord out there. And so it makes him, when he tells Qui-Gon Jinn that he doesn't think the Sith have been gone for millennia, he doesn't think they could come back, it basically makes him this completely almost dark character now, that he's continuously hiding this stuff because it might make the Jedi look bad if the Sith were back.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, again, so it's all about deconstructing these people who fight for the little guy, fight for what they say is the goal of all these other, agendas. Oh, it's for the people who are, discriminated against. It's like, that's what the Jedi fought for.
Interesting.
And yet they're trying to get rid of the goodness of them. It's like, yes, people fail to do good. There's a in a Miss Saigon, the musical, there's a line where the guy's singing and I can't remember the line leading up to it, but he's like, I'm American. I have to look up the lyrics, but it's just, even when you're trying to do the best, you're not always going to succeed perfectly. And that's one thing to say the Jedi didn't succeed and they made a lot of mistakes. It's another thing to say that their motivations were bad.
Right. Well said.
Right.
Very well said. Oh, you want to look up that quote? And you guys, let's do some trivia. Let's see if we can lighten.
Do some trivia. Yeah.
I would say, segue on that note. The Sound of Freedom, which is the movie all about child trafficking.
Amazing movie.
That is out on Prime now. So
yeah, I watched. It was on. It was out on Prime a while ago, wasn't it?
Prime or Hulu? It's been out for a little while.
Yeah,
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh my god, dude!
Because I know it's gonna break my heart. Dude. So I have to be in a mood. To me, it's also like when I watch The Passion of the Christ. If you you've ever seen that,
yes,
you got to be in a mood to
watch it. Yeah,
it's
that movie will make you feel emotions. Yeah, it will.
Yeah, I saw interviews with the not the actors as well as the actual guy that is out there rescuing those. I saw like multiple, probably 6 or 7 hours of interviews with these guys, and amazing what they do, heartbreaking what reality is.
It really is
absolutely heartbreaking. Yeah,
it's tough to believe that there are actually people like that in this world right now. Yeah. Many of them who just don't get. It's something I'm very, very passionate about.
Yeah.
Because I love my kids. I love my children.
2 million children are in slavery right now for sex trafficking. 2 million.
Yep.
That is horrifyingly mind-blowing. Horrifying.
All right. So the background of Miss Saigon, and I highly recommend. There's actually a kind of a movie version of it. Not movie, but it's a video of the stage play.
Right.
And
Saigon Kick. Yeah. Love is on the way.
No, that's not it.
No. Oh.
So that what it is, it's a love story told over the last days of Vietnam, right as we're about to pull out. And I mean, there's actually a scene in the movie where they're trying to get out of the what's the government building?
The yeah, I know what it's
Yeah,
called.
yeah, the main
As soon
government
as-
building. And
as soon
they're
as-
all the Vietnamese that were worked with the Americans are trying to get on the planes, and basically what happened in Afghanistan consulate. And there's in that it's an amazing scene. The helicopter even flies in on stage and picks up the main characters and flies them off. But so he sleeps with this prostitute that he falls in love with, and then they get separated.
Love you long time, GI. $5.
That stuff is in the movie, in the show. But they fall in love and they get separated in that moment. And so then it flash forwards 5 years later and he's married and she has a son by him and they end up in China and stuff. But he's talking to his wife and so he's telling her, he's like, so I wanted to save her, protect her. Christ, I'm American. How could I fail to do good? But all I made was a mess, just like everyone else, in a place full of mystery that I never once understood. And it's like, that's just it. It's like, how can I fail to do? I'm trying to do good. How could I fail at that?
Right.
And but yeah.
Very well said. All right. Anybody want to cry? We need a hug. All right.
Yeah.
Let's do something fun.
Makes me want to listen. I was already wanting to listen to Miss Saigon earlier.
Pick. Yeah, that one song, "Love Is on the Way," is such a good song.
I don't even think I know that song.
I sang for you. All right, so let's do some 80s trivia. Then we'll do some Star Wars trivia at the very end, like we usually do. Your name is your buzzer. You guys are up against each other as always.
I'm disappointed that you haven't made some kind of HTML page for us to actually click a buzzer.
Yeah. Damn it. Okay, can you hold, please? Let me work on that. Hey, the fact that I get us actually broadcasting, within the first attempt or two.
Yeah, that was a pretty big one today.
I can't even. What I didn't know when we started doing it was remarkable, and as that I made things so complicated. Yeah, but you know what? I'll give it to like Restream and these different apps that came out and kind of simplified things because I didn't have the luxury of hey, I'll just pay $12 a month and you'll push everything out for me. Well, yeah. All right, so here we go. Name is your buzzer. We're gonna start with some 80s. We'll start with music. Question: who had a hit with "I Think We're Alone Now"? Daniel.
Tiffany.
That's where I was going.
Correct.
That's where I was going.
I almost said Bengals, but I was like, no, it's not Bengals.
Who was the lead singer of The Police?
Jeff. Bono.
Daniel.
Sting.
Good job.
It was one or the other.
Which
one of those.
One of those two. Which hip hop trio had a 1986 hit with "Push It"?
Jeff. Salt and Pepper.
That is correct, sir. Which German pop duo had to return their Grammy for lip syncing their hit record "Girl You Know It's True"?
Oh yeah.
Jeff. Milli Vanilli.
Milli Vanilli. That is correct.
I didn't realize they were
Rob
German.
and Fab. Oh, that was such a travesty. Two more for music, then we're gonna do some TV. Which of the following is not a single from Blondie? One Way or Another, Dennis, or Bad Reputation?
Daniel.
Dennis.
Oh, really? All right, Jeff. I'll go Bad Reputation.
That is correct, sir. Hey,
Yeah, I knew One Way or Another was.
Yeah, One Way or Another was.
Yeah, you had a 50-50 shot. All right. Which 80s song is associated with Rick rolling?
Daniel.
Oh, Jeff.
Daniel.
Never gonna give you up.
Never gonna let you down. Never gonna come
Dude,
around.
I love
hurt you.
Getting rickrolled by Jeff.
A compliment
My
system is a group of.
All right. Let's do a couple TV trivia from the 80s. In what
In the
year did
blood
the first
that
episode of
detect
Cops
pathogens that
air?
have entered the body.
Jeff,
Jeff,
1986.
incorrect. It's
What-
literally
what-
a guess.
What
It's
show?
It's in the 80s.
Cops.
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 Bad boy,
Oh,
bad boy.
I'm gonna go with 88.
It was 89.
Uh,
That's very specific.
I thought it was
knew
earlier.
I knew it was late because I'm thinking of when that song
Yeah.
showed up.
Took Hannah to see Bad Boys Infinity, whatever, which one it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
And afterwards she goes, that was fun, but I think I would have known more what was going on if I had watched the first one. And I said, oh, the first three. And she goes, oh wait, oh, this was the fourth one. Like,
Information.
yeah, you're pretty much fine. It's the same story.
Yeah.
Bad Boys for Life. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think the third one was all that good.
They opened the fourth one just like the third one, which is like speeding somewhere in Miami or whatever. And I'm like, well, isn't that how we opened the last one? We were in a
Mike
rush.
Lowry.
Mike Lowry. Still fun.
I'm done.
Generally enjoyed it. All right, next one. Who starred as the title character in Remington Steele?
Okay.
Daniel.
Pierce Brosnan.
That is correct, sir. What sitcom co-created by Larry David?
Daniel. Seinfeld.
That is correct. I didn't even have to finish the question.
I was like, I didn't get the question.
Jeff. Anyone.
Yes.
What was the name of the car in the Dukes of Hazzard?
Jeff. General Lee.
That is correct, sir. Now they have outlawed reruns of the Dukes of Hazzard because of the flag and the South. So don't want to trigger people.
Mm-hmm.
People are so dumb. I'm glad. I'm glad obnoxious culture is coming back.
Yes.
I'm so happy. I'm glad that comedians are telling the jokes they want to tell, and
that's right,
slamming everybody, because that's what humor is supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you haven't heard about anybody getting canceled lately.
Nope, because they've insulated themselves to the point where they're like, you can't cancel someone who doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they understand that, like, who gives a crap, whatever.
And the audience and the people who are the fans continue to be fans, period.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Some middle-aged white woman in San Francisco getting upset about the stand-up comic that I like to watch makes zero difference in my life. Like zero Fs. I give zero. Whatever.
Yeah. They can go get a pooper scooper and clean up their sidewalks.
I'm like, I should watch your show. Obviously, they did something funny.
Yep.
Thanks for the
advertising. That's what I say.
Oh, they're pushing the boundary. Sounds fun.
Sounds good.
You should have seen what 80s comedy was. My God.
Jesus.
I mean, crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff doesn't. Porky's doesn't play well to your teenage daughter in this day and age.
Revenge of the Nerds.
Revenge of the Nerds also does not play well. And she's like, wait a second. Are they spying on the chicks? Yeah. Like, how is this acceptable? Wait, she has sex with him in a bouncy house and doesn't realize it's him, and then she like falls in love with him. I'm like, that's what happens with rape.
Wow.
I was 10 years old and I realized, hey, just be good at it, and then they'll be okay with it.
Wear a Darth Vader mask. That's what I said.
Yeah, that stuff doesn't. Yeah.
There's
certain things that I agree should have aged out and doesn't play well. Certain things like, that was never a good message.
Right.
Not saying it wasn't funny, it just wasn't a good message. So.
Are you paid?
All right. What is the name of the artificial intelligence computer in Quantum Leap?
Jeff. Ziggy.
That is correct, sir. Who was the leader of the Thundercats in the cartoon TV?
Jeff.
Lionel. That is correct, sir. Neil Patrick Harris played what 16-year-old doctor?
Wait, who? Oh, Patrick.
Neil Patrick Harris.
Daniel. Oh, geez.
Jeff. Doogie Howser.
Doogie. I was going to say Dookie.
Dookie. That's a great one.
Dookie Howser.
All right. We're switching to movies. Movies of the 80s. That one. In Say Anything, what song does John Cusack play from his boombox?
Is it Don't You Forget about Me?
I think that was Breakfast Club, wasn't it?
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
It was Jesus. I can't think of it.
It's along those same lines.
Yeah.
In your eyes, the light, the heat.
Is it
Your
really?
eyes, I am complete. Yeah, Peter Gabriel.
Peter Gabriel.
I
In
guess
your
I
eyes.
didn't realize that.
They said when they filmed that scene, he was actually playing some a punk thrash song.
How do you
how they
act to
recorded
that?
it was just this total punk song, like like that. And then they wound up getting the licensing for the Peter Gabriel song, and they went with that. And I'm like, that's so crazy because that song defines like 80s love story
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
That some Anarchy in the UK or whatever wouldn't have played, or the Misfits would have come across totally differently.
God save the Queen.
John McClane is the main character.
Jeff.
What Jeff?
Die Hard.
That is correct. Which supernatural creatures are the subject of the film The Lost Boys?
Jeff.
Daniel.
Jeff.
Vampires.
That is correct. Love that movie. That's
Love
great.
that movie.
Classic.
In which I feel like we saw it in the drive-in or something.
I was about to say
we did.
Yeah.
We saw it at the drive-in.
I think we all did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
In which film do Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis star as newlydeads?
Oh, Jeff.
Daniel.
Jeff.
Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice.
That is
Beetlejuice.
correct.
Why would you say it 3 times?
Oh, here we go.
I just saw the trailer the other day when we went to see Garfield, which was a waste of hour and 40 minutes, but it made my kid happy, so it was fine. But that's amazing. Makeup is amazing. I said, can you imagine? This was like 30 years ago. They did the other one, and they all almost look exactly the same. Even Catherine O'Hara. I mean, I understand there's makeup and filters and whatnot. You know, she's now a 75-year-old woman, but holy crap. I'm like, that's just insane. And I'm like, and I said, well, with AI, they're not going to need humans to be acting anymore. They'll just.
Well, you saw her in Schitt's Creek, right? I mean, she
was great.
So that was a great show.
Great show.
And that goes to prove too is that when you tell a story with a good character, it doesn't matter who they are. Like,
right. Yeah,
he was
matter. Yeah, exactly.
That he was gay or whatever. He was a well-developed character.
Yep.
Right. Well, it's like they started with agenda because you could tell that it was part of the Hollywood, recipe, and then they just told a good story and then left the agenda behind. And I'm like, okay.
His friendship with the girl, even though they slept together in the first season, the friendship with her was more important to his character than the other relationship that came later.
Right. Schitt's Creek. Which 1980 film did Dolly Parton star in and sing the theme song?
Jeff.
Jeff.
9 to 5.
That is correct, sir. Iceman, Goose, and Viper.
Jeff. Top Gun.
That is correct. Who played Uncle Buck?
Jeff.
Jeff.
John Candy.
That is correct.
Give me 80s movies all day.
What song
he's younger, he's faster. That's all it is.
I'm still in my 40s.
That's right. What song plays at the end of The Breakfast Club?
Jeff. Go ahead, Daniel.
I don't want to say it now.
Don't you forget about it.
I don't need your pity.
It's legit. It's a real question. All right. Which film stars Molly Ringwald as a teenager whose family has forgotten her birthday? Daniel.
16 Candles. I actually just watched.
I was like, which one is it going to be with Molly Ringwald?
Right.
I just watched that last week, or most of it. I was watching it. It was great. I was watching it in my VR headset, so I was watching it on like a movie theater size screen.
Oh wow!
Oh, that's perfect.
I have a pretty good movie theater size screen here, but that's just 92 inches versus.
That's not a bad idea. I want to do that. Connor does that with our VR. He puts on and watches YouTube and stuff in it. And I'm like, oh, I should do that with a movie.
Yeah. I was planning on, because I'm coming out to California at the end of July, and first I'm going to GalaxyCon. My daughter and I are going to GalaxyCon in Raleigh. Then we're flying from Raleigh to San Diego, and then San Diego back to Nashville. But I wanted to bring it on and sit. And I'm like, I can feel like I'm in a huge space when I'm all crowded. I think that's an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
But my daughter's like, I will not sit next to you if you're wearing that on the airplane. I was like, we'll see.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 80s culture questions, and then we will move on. Are you ready? 5.
Ready.
Number 1, which board game originally published in 1985 involved a player trying to draw objects for their teammates to guess?
Daniel,
Oh,
Daniel.
win, lose, or draw.
Jeff.
Jeff.
Pictionary.
Pictionary is
Oh, I
correct.
thought you said TV show.
Nope. Games or culture.
In what year were Chicken McNuggets first made available worldwide?
Oh wow, worldwide.
Jeff.
Daniel,
Jeff.
82.
Daniel.
85.
83.
Ah.
Literally, who knows, right? It's not like we talk about, man, back in 1983.
Remember when chicken nuggets became available worldwide?
83. How could I forget?
Hannah was asking me some of these questions, and she's like, you know all the answers. She asked me like 10, and she's like, I said I should ask you questions and we could film it because people like to shame their children for not knowing 80s and 90s stuff. And she goes, "Why is that funny?"
Really, because
Like,
they could have. Our parents could have easily done that to us with 50s and 60s.
Yeah, well,
and our kids could do that to us these days. You know, they can get on and be like, "Oh, what TikTok star?" We're like,
right. I told her, I said, you can give me trivia from the 1930s up, and I bet I'll bet it'll be good at 80%. She goes, yeah, but you're a savant, so
yeah,
most people don't.
We are dork savants.
Most people don't like memorize everything just because. I'm like, oh, I was insecure. I thought if I knew everything that somehow that would make my life better. Found out, no, just fun for trivia.
No.
If you want everyone to hate you when you play Trivial Pursuit. So, all right, number 3, which athlete were, okay, I'm reading this. Which athlete were okay, maybe this is correct. Sorry. Which athlete were the original Air Jordan sneakers exclusively produced for?
Daniel.
Which athlete?
Yes.
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
I was like, was that a trick question?
The sentence that it feels wrong, but maybe I would say was.
Yeah, I mean, would Michael Jordan.
Which athlete were they made for?
The Air Jordans.
What it is the Air Jordans is in the wrong part of the sentence.
That's what I was like. Well, wasn't it Michael Jordan? I mean,
Air Jordans were
just
Air Jordans were made for which?
Yeah.
Should have been Air Jordans were made for athlete.
Well, the sneakers are plural, so technically.
Yeah, they're the object of the sentence.
Okay.
Right.
English is hard. Okay. Which boxer became the youngest ever heavyweight champion of the world in 1986?
Jeff. Mike Tyson.
That is right. All right. Who do you got for the fight? Tyson or Dill?
Tyson.
His name. You think at 58, 59 years old, is he 59?
Tyson's going to whip his ass.
Yeah.
Tyson's getting just like when he came out of jail and they put him on and he beat the shit out of him. I think Tyson's
because
is that fight back on? Because I know they had postponed it or something.
Did they? I
with Jake Paul.
Jake Paul.
Yeah. As far as I heard, they postponed it too. But I hope Tyson kicks his ass.
I suspect if they don't go in with a bunch of exhibition type rules, that Tyson will demolish him.
This was supposed to be an exhibition.
Yeah. Right. All right. Which what movie was that from?
Rocky IV.
Oh, okay.
Apollo Creed getting killed. Ivan Drago.
For some reason, Running Man popped into my head. I don't know why.
Pretty close.
Which U.S. auto manufacturer did Chrysler purchase in 1987?
Jeff.
Plymouth. Daniel. Ferrari.
Oh, no.
They did?
They did eventually.
AMC.
AMC.
Interesting. They made the Javelin and the Jeeps, I guess, right?
Yeah. Interesting. I thought it was Chrysler Plymouth. So I was like, oh, we'll go with that.
Ferrari was purchased by a U.S. company?
Yeah, I believe so.
I know Corvette was purchased by Chevy.
Well, Chevy made the Corvette. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corvette. It was no, you're right. It was maybe it was Ferrari. I was thinking, but they got purchased by
but they in 2014 Chrysler announced that it was separating Ferrari from the rest of its organization. So they did.
Oh, they had owned Ferrari.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Interesting. Well, then you find out like all American Anheuser-Busch is owned by like a Belgian company. So
yeah,
you're like, just sell everything to the conglomerate. What are you gonna do? All right, so
I've met, well, I didn't meet him. No, I take that back. But I've stood in the office of one of the Ferraris because one of the Ferrari family is the CEO of Bridgestone.
oh, no kidding.
And I was up in his office when we first took over that contract. I thought I was going to be dealing with him, and so I was up there looking at something. But
I haven't
when I
seen that
see-
movie yet with Adam Driver playing Ferrari.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that one either.
I'm curious.
I haven't seen it either.
Ford versus Ferrari though is amazing.
Ford, that was a great movie. That was a fantastic movie. Done really, really well. All right, so you guys, we have a choice of one of two things or both, if you want to.
Hey, hold on. Let me show you something real quick.
Yeah, please.
Hold on. Let me get rid of my background. Is he still there?
Yeah, he's slobbering out his.
All right, let me get rid of the background real quick. I want you to look behind me at my door. Look who's knocking at my door.
Oh, there's the raccoon. Well, hello, raccoon.
Do you want something?
Dad,
Go get him a biscuit.
I just found an Easter. Oh, there is no one.
They're right up here in the big box.
And the big one.
There's a
That's
big box
wild.
up there.
I
Yeah,
mean, literally, it's wild.
we feed him, and he's foaming at the mouth right now. I'm just kidding.
Look at that. How cute is that?
He's drawing.
I've
He is
never.
drooling.
I don't think I ever saw a raccoon
I
in
feed him
painting.
this?
I don't feel
Yeah.
like I ever saw.
I get a whole family. He tries to get in the house every day.
They want to feed him this?
There was that one kind of I remember, I don't know if, I think you were with me, Jeff, when there was one in the White's backyard up in a tree.
I remember that.
I don't think it was me.
Yeah,
That was me.
it must have been Coy.
It was me.
I
remember
feel
that.
like I heard about it, but I don't feel like I've
Remember.
visually. I'd seen
Remember.
possums and skunks, but I don't
Yeah.
recall seeing a
Dad, it's
raccoon in the
empty.
30 years I lived there. So it's weird.
So there was a deer in not in about
Perfect.
4 or 5 houses down from me in the last few days. I want to say probably Wednesday night. I think it was went to go pick up Ella from work. Thursday night.
Whenever I see those reels about like, hey, I found a baby raccoon or found a baby monkey, like they do those, like I raised it and now it's a part of my family. It makes me want to get an exotic animal, just based on that. I'm like, raccoons, they seem so cute, or capuchin monkeys, they seem like a great idea, or
Until they hit puberty.
and then I'm like, nah, maybe not a good idea, maybe not a good pet. My dad he used to be before he went to Germany during Vietnam, he worked for a exotic pet store, like in Encinitas, and his job was to go get the exotic pets that got out of control and wrangle them and bring them back, or people who bought exotic pets, like big cats like pumas, bobcats. He said one of the scariest moments he had was he got called to this house. They had a large cat, and it was a cougar that they had raised since it was a baby. This thing, he goes, it basically hit puberty and it went feral and went ape shit. And he goes, the entire house smelled like cat piss. It had sprayed the entire house, and it was still kind of, he said it was still juvenile, but it was, like it's a 40-pound cat. And he said it was up on a shelf in the closet. And he had to figure out how to get a rope around it, hog tie it, and then go put it in the truck. And I'm like, that's insane, Dad.
That's insane.
I mean, he used to go catch rattlesnakes and tag them just to like science. He wanted to be a herpetologist.
Mhm.
But he was nuts, dude. He did all sorts of the cool stuff that young men should do.
Yeah.
You go to Mexico and steal turtles and lizards and then bring them back over the border and then sell them. So his friend had a big tanker truck,
Yeah.
and it was basically like partitioned out where they would go get all these like turtles, red ear sliders, lizards, everything, and they would have bags of them, and then they'd have all the turtles in this water tank. But if you opened it, like you would just see it looked like a regular water tank, and then they had a compartment where they had all these hidden amphibians that they had stolen from Mexico and were trafficking across the border.
If you ever needed
Sounds
to
amazing.
know why having exotic pets is a bad idea, Florida is a good.
Oh, right.
Because one, of course, you have the python population that's out of control, and they're now just trying to make sure that they don't overpopulate.
Right. Yeah. I
There's
had
also
one, but-
currently 2 species. Yeah, at least California, they weren't going to thrive.
Right.
But then there's also 2 species of monkeys that are established in Florida.
Oh,
We actually saw several dead monkeys when we were in the Keys on the side of the road.
wow.
But there's 2 additional species of monkeys that they've managed to eradicate.
Wow. That's wild, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Not
So
supposed to have those pets for a reason.
Yeah.
You guys saw my cat?
Meow. Yes, we saw that cat.
Yeah,
Yes.
saw that on Facebook. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Be careful what you ask for. Hey kids, this will be fun. Get me something from the antique store that I can never throw away because it was a gift that I have to explain. And it only took about 15 minutes or so. And I was like, hey, I found this decoy duck for $28 if you guys want to get that. And they're like, oh no.
We got the cat.
Her name is Cheddar. I'm like, oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Cheddar.
It's pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah.
That is a great gift.
I'm like, wow.
Great Father's Day gift.
Yeah. They're like, the duck would have fit in your house. I'm like, yeah, I know. So you guys, we'll get 10 more minutes. Do you want to do this week in music? We'll just do a countdown, see if you can, I'll give the song, you give the artist, or go straight to what Chat GPT thinks are the 20 difficult Star Wars questions.
Well, yeah, we can do that.
That one?
You want to do
Yeah,
that?
let's do the chat GPT.
Let's do chat.
We'll skip the music. And we'll go to, I do miss singing songs with you guys.
Me too.
Number 13 was No One Is to Blame by Howard Jones. Go, Daniel.
You can look at the menu, but you just can't eat. That's a great one.
That's a good
Actually, I listened to Dream Into Action earlier. I have an 80s, 70s, 80s pop playlist that I
love that.
created, and Dream Into Action was on there today.
Remember, do you remember the guy came to our elementary school and played the
Yeah,
keyboard and sang that song? And that
I
made
do.
me love
I
Howard
was thinking about it's like the thought of that. I mean, he was brought there because the keyboard was such a new thing.
Yeah.
And it was capable of doing so much, and that was basically what they're showing off. And it's like now it's like, yeah, what I can do so much more with my
Of course.
computer.
Right.
You can do real sounding instruments.
Yep. Howard Jones should thank that guy because
got
of
several
that,
fans.
I actually bought his Howard Jones cassette tape, and
Yeah, I bought all of his cassette tapes. I had like 6 or 7 albums of his.
Dream Into Action, great album.
And then there's Action Replay, where it's kind of remakes of it. Of course, there's a better version of No One Is to Blame with Phil Collins playing drums and singing background vocals.
Ooh, maybe I'll have to check that out. All right, so let's see. ChatGPT says, sure. Here are 20 challenging Star Wars trivia questions along with their answers. Now let's see.
What do we got?
All right, we'll number 1. What color is Yoda's lightsaber in Attack of the Clones?
Daniel, green.
Daniel, green. That is correct. All right.
What color was it in Return of the Jedi?
You didn't have it anymore.
He was
didn't have
green. Just didn't have it.
It's true.
That I get. Okay, yeah. I'm slow. I'm like, I don't remember it. All right. Question number 2 says ChatGPT challenging Star Wars. Who was the original commander of the Death Star in A New Hope?
Jeff. Grand Moff Tarkin.
Even better, you are correct. What is its first name?
Wilhelm.
Will Huff, apparently.
Oh, Will Huff.
Will Huff, yeah.
Will something.
Yeah, we'll give that to him because that's close enough. Yeah.
Yeah, good job. Good job on both.
What's funny is it's like original. I think it's like mixing a Rogue One question with a original movie because it's like, well, he was the only one.
Well, it was
charge of it.
Krennic. I mean, if you want to say Krennic, but
yeah, I mean, if you said original, you'd say Krennic. But if you're saying just a New Hope, then it's
in A New Hope.
Yeah, he's the only one.
Got you.
So,
Got you. This is why we are the Dork Squad.
That's right.
Question number 3. What species stole the plans to the Death Star in Rogue
Jeff.
One? Jeff.
Oh, in Rogue One or in? Hold
See,
on.
that's
In
a
Rogue
bad
One.
question. That's one of those questions that ticks me off when Rogue One came out. They're like, I thought the Bothans stole the plans
Yeah,
to the.
Both-
It's
I
like,
mean-
no, they stole the plans to the second Death Star.
Ah,
So it actually
which
says
species
it,
was it
it says
humans?
it in italics. It says Bothans. Note, this line was actually a joke in Return of the Jedi and not from Rogue One. Literally says that. Not bad.
Not bad.
Man, you played it forward 30 years and back at the same time. All
Yeah.
What you should do is chastise ChatGPT for getting that question, saying, hey, it was actually the Bothans got the plans for the second Death Star, so there wasn't a joke in Return of the Jedi. They were talking about a different Death Star.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah,
I'll have that conversation with it.
You
tonight.
need to have it.
Yeah, have it and then post it.
No, stupid. I'm sorry. I'm just a large learning model, a large language model. Is that what it is? All right. Question number 4.
Also,
What is the name of the bounty hunter
I'm
frozen in
replying to
carbonite
you guys on my
in The Empire
watch.
Strikes Back?
The bounty hunter frozen in carbonite.
Trick question. There
Yeah.
wasn't one.
Well, there may have been, but I don't know who it is.
Yeah, it's wrong. It says Han Solo. He was not a bounty hunter.
Nope, he was a smuggler.
He was a smuggler.
Yeah,
All right,
good job, chat.
All right.
You're right. These are hard questions.
They are hard because the answers are wrong. You have to get the right wrong answer.
Send me another
Otherwise,
message.
You don't understand what it was thinking. That's on you. What does at stand for?
Jeff,
Jeff.
all terrain, all transport. Or vice versa. All transport, all terrain.
Anyone? Second guess?
Really?
The words is off. Yeah. Well, according to Chat GPT, it could be full of shit.
Let's see. What would ChatGPT say?
Yeah. Han Solo.
All terrain armored transport.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that is actually
that is it. I got it.
All right. Cool. So that's a good question. All right. Which actor portrayed Darth Maul in The Phantom Menace?
The guy who played
Daniel Ray Park.
Ray Park.
Ray Park. What is the name of Anakin Skywalker's Jedi mentor in The Phantom Menace?
Daniel.
Qui-Gon
Jinn.
Yes. I'm surprised that one took you guys any time.
Well, I mean, the only reason why I took is that I had to think like he didn't really have. He did have a mentor. He was a mentor. He was not a master.
Right, and that's why I was going with Obi-Wan, and I was like, oh, that's not right. I don't think.
Got you. He's the Qui-Gon Jinn was the Jehovah's Witness groomer who kidnapped him from his mother. Right. Okay. It's the slave mother. There you go. Who is the only non-Jedi Sith character to use a lightsaber in the original trilogy?
Hold on.
Say that again.
Who
Read
is
that
the
one.
only non-Jedi / Sith character, neither Jedi nor Sith, to use a lightsaber in the original
Daniel.
Daniel.
General Grievous.
No,
Oh, wait, you said
I'm going Han
original
Solo.
trilogy? Yeah,
Han Solo.
You said original trilogy. I heard that
Solo
after I
correct,
said it.
Yes. He cuts open the tauntaun, right?
Yeah. You know the temperature they are lukewarm.
And I thought that joke was bad on the outside.
Oh, nice. Wow, a callback. What type of creature?
Broke its house.
We'll give Jeff a sec.
Now it's wide open.
All right, I'll check it out when I get done. We got 5 minutes.
Because I was trying to show him where the
All right, I'll check it out.
What type of creature attacked Luke Skywalker on Hoth?
Jeff.
Wampa.
Wampa, that is correct.
No, actually.
Which actress portrays Rey in the sequel trilogy?
Jeff. Daisy Ridley.
No, it just broke the door.
See, there's a picture of her meeting the Rey character at Galaxy's Edge, like in the last couple of days.
Oh,
that's pretty cool.
That's cool. In Florida or down here?
Disneyland.
Nice.
What is the name of Boba Fett's ship?
Jeff. Slave One.
Slave One is correct. Look.
It's not correct anymore. Star Wars can't possibly say it was a
one.
You're right.
They wanted
to called now.
I don't remember what it's called now either. Something
Oh.
because it's still Slave One to me.
Yes, it'll always be Slave One.
Which planet?
I was trying to show him what it was, and he got screwed
Sure.
in this.
Oh,
The head
Fire
quarters.
Spray is the new name.
Oh,
Sorry
Jesus.
about that. Fire Spray is the new Boba Fett jet. I mean,
Ship.
Yeah.
ship.
Yeah, they tried because they wanted to make him into a new hero rather than because he's cool. He couldn't possibly have he wasn't possibly a bad guy who was going after, he was a
Kidnapping
bounty hunter.
People into slavery.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be bad. Which planet serves as the headquarters of the Rebel Alliance in the original trilogy?
Jeff.
Jeff.
Dantooine. Down on Dantooine. No, I'm just kidding. it was Yavin. It was a moon.
Yavin 4.
Yeah, moon off of
Yavin
Yavin.
4. That
Yavin
is
4.
correct. Yavin 4. Who kills Jabba the Hutt? in
Jeff.
Return of the- Jeff.
Princess Leia.
That was a hard one.
Yes.
What is the name of the bounty hunter who captures Han Solo in The Empire Strikes Back?
Daniel.
Yeah,
Boba Fett.
that's correct. Who is the original owner of the Millennium Falcon before Han Solo?
Jeff.
Jeff.
Lando Calrissian.
That is correct. What are the Sith names of Count Dooku and Darth Sidious, respectively?
Daniel.
Daniel.
Darth Tyrannus and Darth Sidious.
Well, Darth Sidious is his Sith name.
It's both. And then it says
Tyrannus is Dooku's though.
Yeah, Tyrannus is Dooku, but he said, "What's the Sith name of Darth
Oh,
Sidious?"
I've been put
It's
in,
Darth Sidious.
put in quotes Emperor Palpatine, so I think it put it in the wrong order.
Yeah, they did.
Should have been Count Dooku and Emperor Palpatine. Who directed Star Wars: The Last Jedi?
Daniel.
Rain.
Daniel.
Ryan Johnson.
That's correct.
Rain Johnson. That's what I always say.
Which planet does Rey first discover Luke Skywalker hiding on in the Force
Ooh.
Awakens?
What was that planet?
I
That's
can
a great-
almost see it.
She left Jakku and went to. Where was it?
I don't think it's actually ever said in the movie. I think it's just.
Ooh, could be one of those.
But when I hear it, I'll go, oh yeah.
Does it start with an S or a C?
The answer is Act 2.
Nope,
Act
I'm
Yeah.
way off. I didn't know that. Achoo. Bless you.
That's right. What is the name of the Ewok who helps Leia on Endor in Return of the Jedi?
Jeff.
Jeff.
Wicket W. Warwick.
That is correct.
Work.
Wow.
Davis.
I didn't even know it had middle initial plus a last name. That was Warwick Davis.
Warwick Davis.
Played him.
Yes.
Cute. Did it say that in the credits?
No, I don't think so.
Is it just
Not
there?
not in the original ones anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
That was the action figure that actually said that.
They even never said the word Ewok in Return of the Jedi, right? It was just in the credits that they were. called
Yeah.
Ewoks.
Yeah.
Well, in the music too, the parade of Ewoks.
There's lyrics.
No, there's a theme.
Oh.
Do-do,
okay, I got
do-do,
it.
do-do, 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 do.
What is the name of the? Okay, hold on, my brain. Try again. What is the name of the creature that attacks the Millennium Falcon while it is attached to the Death Star
Jeff.
Daniel.
of the Jedi? Jeff.
Was it a Rylock?
Minok.
Mynock.
But wait, what movie did it say?
It said Return of the Jedi. That's why I
It
stopped.
says Return of the Jedi.
And that's why I stopped. I was like, that's
And
not
it-
right.
Yeah, it wasn't on the Death Star either. It was
Yeah,
in
it was in the asteroid.
The dumb
Yeah.
asteroid.
So it's that's right. Dumb asteroid. It says exogorth or space slug.
And even that was
But
still
that's
Empire
actually-
Strikes Back in the asteroid.
A
That's-
xenomorph? Isn't that aliens?
That's aliens. Yeah, that's different. So, anyways, those are the 20,
Woohoo!
20
I got a
20 challenge
70%.
questions. Not bad. Not bad. You even got some wrong ones right, so that's good.
right. Yeah.
Not bad. ChatGPT, yeah, I'll give it a C plus.
C plus.
C
Yeah.
plus. The space slug.
I mean,
Uh,
the
That was
space
on the
slug.
asteroid, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same scene.
Yeah.
There was Minox inside the space slug.
Those are the things that attach to the window, right?
Yeah, those are the things
Yeah.
that actually attach to it.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting. I had a question and then it disappeared. It was something around Star Wars. I forget. All right. Well, it pops into my head. I will ask. Well, we made it. Looks like we made it.
Yeah, I put that through auto tune. It was bad.
Yeah. Thanks. You go ahead and clean that up for me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Sometimes you just have to re-sing it again so you get close enough that you can actually tune it and it sounds right.
Rebecca got some app on her phone that's supposed to help you sing better or whatever, and she has a good singing voice. She's a karaoke singer, right? But she's like, I'm gonna get this app that's gonna like help me sound better or whatever. And I said, don't do it. Don't do it. Because however you sound to yourself and sound to everyone else, and what the machine is going to say, how calibrated you are, is going to make you sad. It's not going to be like, you're Celine Dion. It's going to be like, try again.
Yeah, just tell her how depressed
she's like, I hate this thing. I'm a horrible singer. I'm never singing again. I'm like,
here, actually, I'll share. I'm going to share let me share my screen here.
All right. And then we'll wrap up here.
Where is share? Oh, there you go. Share.
Sunny.
Sonar. All right.
Got you, babe.
So Melodyne is the tuning.
What?
So this is what it looks like when this has already been tuned.
Okay.
And so you can see up here,
what are the
3%, 3 cents off. Let's see what the original was. See, 19 cents, which isn't far out of tune, but it's enough to make you feel bad.
Almost a quarter.
I don't know. Yeah, 19 cents. Almost 2 bits.
Over a dime.
So,
like I said, up to 7 cents sharp or flat will actually sound in tune to any ear.
Melodyne. Is this you have to purchase Melodyne?
It came with my recording software.
Interesting. Yeah. I was thinking about using one of those AI thing, like it'll make it, like you record your voice and then it'll sing a song for you in tune.
Yeah. Well, I've got this app. So this one is actually auto tune. I can actually put on correction.
Auto tune yourself while you're talking right now?
No, it would have to go through that. So I could probably. I don't know if it. I know you wouldn't hear it live. I don't think, but you could hear it immediately through.
It makes you sound like a demon.
Look, let's see what happens. Let me check 1 2 1 2. Hey, let's just talk around here and make some noise and blah 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 blah. All right, let's see what it does with it.
I thought you were gonna rap. Check.
Let me turn
I
it up
rule
here.
supreme. I rule divine. Rock the hands off a clock and go for mine.
Oh, I didn't realize it was still playing.
Because my name is Marky D. Making heads twirl, no ifs, ands, or buts.
I rule the world.
Check 1 2 1 2. Hey, let's just talk around here and make some noise and blah 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 blah. All right, let's see what it.
Yeah, it doesn't know what to do. Yeah, it didn't really.
Check 1 2 1 2. Hey,
like I could easily.
Let's just talk around here and make some noise and blah 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 blah. All right, let's see what it.
Yeah,
I can do that stuff, but it didn't because I wasn't near any pitch. It didn't try to.
Gotcha.
Now there are ones where you can tell it what notes you want it to do. I might have one of those. I can't remember. But this is one of my favorite new plugins because you sit there and you play it and it listens to it, and then you go, oh, I want to sound like, and so this is music songs I've done. Oh, Peter Cetera's "Have You Ever Been in Love?" I want to have EQ my voice to sound like that track.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I like it.
Fascinating.
It has made my recording sound a lot better.
Interesting.
Big and
because I'm terrible at recording stuff. I'm good at writing and arranging.
Oh, beautiful.
I had this is a great dad. I had a great dad moment. That'll be the last thing I share. I'll let you guys go. The same day that I believe I dropped Big and Beautiful into our Atomic Dork Squad, I also sent it to Hunter because I burned Fat Boys on disc and he used to play them when he was like 3, 4, or 5 years old. Because that's a fun thing about having children is you can indoctrinate them to love things that nobody else does or only Jeff Coy loves.
Right.
And
Which is true.
I sent him the link on the same day, and then he responds back. He's like, "That's amazing. I knew all the lyrics." And I'm like, "Yeah,
Ah,
yeah." You probably literally hadn't listened to that in 15 years, and you're like, yeah, the only kid of your generation, I think, that knows Fat Boys.
right.
That's our right as parents, is to get our kids to love stuff that nobody else would know. So. All right, gentlemen. I appreciate hanging out with you guys. It was good catching up.
Yep.
Good insight on Acolyte, Inside Out. Good insight from Michelle too.
Yeah.
She asked for. I mentioned a book that I'm going to drop in our chat that she wanted you to share with her. So
Okay.
a couple of resources that we talked about. So
Sounds good.
yeah, that's it. So what? Let's do it again sometime.
Let's do it. I got a new game too. We could play one of these days. It's Outsmarted. It's called Outsmarted, and I bought the Star Wars pack. And you'll never get the same questions twice. You could play it on. There's an app that you can play it on. So
fun.
We could all play it on here, and I could actually maybe share the screen, and we could all play on here. So
let's do it. One of these days, you guys should let me play trivia. That would be fun.
Yeah, well, that's what this will do. This will allow you to play.
I can play.
You can play too.
Yay!
It'll come right on.
I have a better chance against you with the Star Wars stuff.
Yes,
that's true.
Yes.
Yeah. Unless my brain
equal speed, and
yeah,
be perfect.
Awesome. All right, easy. So I don't forget. We don't have theme songs anymore. We don't have anything. So.
Yeah.
Hey, that was Atomic Dork Squad for Sci-Fi Dan and Master Jedi Jeffrey with the G. Say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.
Later, guys.
See you guys. Love you. Fat boy.